Once again, back in greenhouse on what's turning out to be the strangest July that I can remember. We've had ups and downs of weather since the very start of July, but today was something else. I came out this morning and it was full sunshine, really nice weather, so I thought we could get quite a few bits and bobs done outside today. But then all of a sudden it changed. The sky went pitch black and a storm's blown in. And apparently we're going to get 42-mile-an-hour winds pretty much all day. But what's made it worse is we've just had a downpour, so I've had to take loads of things out of container garden and put them in greenhouses just for the next few hours because I know they're going to get battered. But one thing I didn't expect were hailstones. We've just had them coming down about 20 minutes ago. And this happened to me a couple of years ago when we had loads of French beans outside and then we got hailstones and it basically battered every leaf and the plants never recovered. But as it happens this year, I haven't got any French beans outside. But I didn't expect that. I did still have time to find a blackberry. It's only one blackberry, but it's better than no. We've got a few more tomatoes on plants that we can pick this morning as well. And they're on this one. I've moved that out of container garden for obvious reasons today. But I've got a couple of nice little tomatoes on there. That's a good size one as well. That might be it for this plant. There is a couple more that are almost red, but not quite, so I'll leave them a bit longer. Let's go and have a look in other greenhouse where I've put all those containers from that container garden. It looks like there's another storm coming in. The colour of those clouds. So everything's in here now, especially that would have took a battering once these winds get here. But we have got a bit of summer on here, have a look on it. I think that's the first one I've took off here. But there's quite a few on the way as well. Look at the size of those romaine lettuce, they've gone crazy. I've got some onions to harvest today as well. I think these Florence are done. This one's fell over, so maybe that's as big as they get. It's still not a bad size for a long, sweet red onion. So I might have a couple of those today. And we've got a few tomatoes on here as well. These aren't completely red, but a day on a sunny windowsill and they will be. So we might as well get a few while we're here. There's one tiny one there. We'll take it. I definitely brought my carrots in. I didn't want them getting battered flat by that rain. And that courgette, because that's at a right good size now. I'm going to have to look up when you harvest these ones, because I'm not sure. Well, at least for today, these plants are going to be safe. Is that another tomato I've just spied? Yes, on a different plant. It looks like there we've got the start of his first melon. It's tiny, but it's something. Well, I think that will worth a look. I've got a nice little bunch of cherry tomatoes there. That's them onions that I was looking at in other greenhouse. We had them in container garden for quite a while, but they've grown really nice. I can see that a lot of these tops are falling over, so I don't think these are going to grow any bigger, but they're still a really good size for me. So I think we'll take some of those out today. Stock up on his onions. We've got some nice sizes. It's amazing how they're just sat on top of soil like that. The only thing that's below surface at roots. So if we give that a twist, we can easily harvest it. That's a really nice looking onion. So I think I'll just empty this container. Don't matter whether they're big or small to me. We can use them all. That's all that matters. But they're nice and firm as well. These look like spring onions that we've let grow on. I'm not sure what they are, but I do know that they're a really nice firm onion. That's all that matters. So we'll get rest out. And that's the last one. Well, that'll do me. A lovely bunch of good sized onions. That'll keep us in onions for a week or more. I think while I'm at it, I might as well get myself some red onions as well. We planted some called Florence and the new ones that we've never done before. And they're a red onion that grows quite long rather than being a big bulb. But apparently they're a mild sweet onion. So we had to try those this year. So we'll grab that container and we'll get ourselves a bunch of red onions to go with these white ones. Since I've only got about 2 onions left in fridge, and then I won't have to buy any onions for about 3 weeks, which is brilliant. Just before I do that second harvest, I want to say thank you very much to Charmaine Rondon and the Crafting Nook for those donations that you made yesterday. Always massively appreciated when people do that. It really does help us out. And I think what I'll do is I'll pop out and I'm going to try a few different types of fertiliser. We'll pop out at some point of it next week and have a look round and maybe get something a bit different. So thank you very much for those donations. It's really generous of you. That's some Florence onions. I think we looked at them earlier. But you can see how these grow. Tall, long, red onions. And if you've been following this channel for any amount of time, you know that we always like to try something different every single year. And there's quite a few onions in there, considering it's just a little caravan wash bowl that we've drilled holes in bottom of to get good drainage. So it's not taking hardly any space up. We obviously didn't use a lot of compost, and we've got all those onions out on it. And that's what's great about container gardening. So let's get some of these took out, because as far as I can see, the tops of the plants are starting to die back. This one's fallen over, which is what onions do when they're ready to harvest. And the other ones, if you just push them, just easily go over. So to me, they're ready. We'll get a few of these twisted out as well. This one, I've just twisted it, and as I've twisted it, that top just fell over on its own. And again, they are nice firm onions. So I'm looking forward to trying these. And I'm going to empty all of them out of this container as well. Really nice looking onions. And that one was the biggest out of this container. It's got some really nice colour to it. The top of that one has completely gone. So that's definitely ready. Really pleased with those as well. A really nice bunch of sweet red onions. And when you take these outer skins off them, you can see that amazing colour underneath. But that saved us a bit of money today. Since I was down to my last 2 onions, and then for a little trip round garden, we walk away with all those. And regardless of where the weather is today and how it's been for quite a while, once you start getting this, that makes your day, and that makes up for any disappointment that you might have felt previously. So you just wait long enough and it'll happen. And I'm not going to be buying any onions for quite a while now. I've still got quite a lot of those Florence red onion seeds left. And because we've been taking harvests over the last few weeks, we've now got a few of these wash bowls that's come empty. So we'll pop some compost in at some point today, and we'll sow some more of those sweet red onions, because I have trouble growing red onions every year. If I do them from sets, for whatever reason, they just don't seem to want to grow. But the regular onions from sets grow perfectly alright. So we tried some from seed this year, and they seem to be doing a little bit better. And that's these ones. We've been growing these in container garden, and they're not massive red onions at the moment anyway, but they are round and they are growing. So I'll give them probably about another month or so, and then we can harvest those onions as well, probably around about the same time as we run out of these. So that's why it makes perfect sense, for sake of a little bit of compost, to sow some fresh seeds and get some more growing for later on. And that way you never have to buy onions from the shop. You've always got a continuous supply as long as you sow fresh seeds. And we've also got a nice little bunch of cherry tomatoes as well today. So as far as I'm concerned, it's been a very good Saturday harvest. And since we're going to get hit by 42 mph winds within the next hour, I'm going to have to move some of them potato plants into that sheltering beer garden. Otherwise we'll run risk for all those main crop plants getting all the stems snapped, and that would be a disaster. So I'm going to crack on with that, and tomorrow I'm pretty sure we'll find something else to do, and hopefully we're not going to be walking around looking at too much damage. So if you've got tall plants in your garden, offer them a bit of protection. So once again, thank you very much for being part of this channel. I really appreciate it. Enjoy your weekend, look after those plants, and I'll see you next time. Take care. I almost forgot my blackberry.